we have to now move the battle system to work in one scene. So we'll just go to the battle system. And then hopefully we can get it switching between the two different scenes. So I should probably make this battle system into a prefab. That way, if I go here, I can take this battle system and just place it here. And we're probably also going to need an event system. And switch this. Use the new event system. Okay. We can delete the battle scene. Make battle system. Yes. So we're probably going to need to make different AIs for different for the map AI and for the battle AI. So for the map AI, the actual movement that the AI will make, and also the battle AI, which will, once you're commenced in battle, what do you want to use? Like what items or what attack do you want to use? And because of that, we're going to have to switch this around a bit. So I think we're going to have normal works, and then we're going to have normal mind works, and then we're going to have battle works. So also we're probably going to have to change, or we're probably going to have to copy paste some code, which we can refactor later. So for example, this loads, that is. So this right here, I can probably copy all of this for the battle mind. So let's create a battle mind. And honestly, I'm pretty sure I want to rename this to map mind. Map mind, maybe? Map mind. Then I also have to rename the file. Rename the file as well. Oh, not that. It's probably going to cause it to recompile again. And then I'm going to organize it a bit more. So that's the battle, that's the mind. Probably want these in here. And then the mind instruction is going to be used for both of them. Right now, we're actually not using the mind instructions everywhere, but we might need to use them later on. That's why I'm just keeping this here. Now if we actually go to the battle mind and we open up the map mind, oops, I can probably copy this. Oh, also, there's a mind pooler, I'm pretty sure, that we probably have to change. That's just a map mind pooler. We have to rename the file. Anyway, I'm pretty sure we can use inheritance in here, but I will refactor this code after. So of course, this is going to be pullable as well. But this is going to be pullable of the map mind. And also, I'm thinking artificial intelligence.map. And then namespace artificial intelligence.battle. This is just mind work. Artificial intelligence.work. We can say .map.work. dot map. This is also dot mind work. So also I'm thinking, this is map mind. Turn can move. Yeah, that's fine. This mind work we probably want to rename map work instead. Dot map. This is fine. We probably fix the other errors first. Where's the random? This is already map. Then we can rename this. Again, battle mines. We're actually going to create a battle work. Namespace artificial intelligence battle. Then we can say this is not gonna hit for anything. Look at battle mind. We want a list of battle works. Battle. Well, I guess this is equal to mind, yeah. This is just the battle mind. Probably want this is a work. Where's the other work? There's certain like similar things here. So this, for example, probably in both of them. So probably make this an interface. So I can say I work, I guess. Say namespace artificial intelligence interface public. What's the if you go to battle work, it'll force us to declare this. Okay, and there's a lot of overlap between map mind and battle mind as well. Except let's see what we need to change here. So over here we need to change. I don't think we're gonna be using the character here because this is for the map. And instead, let's create like the battle data. Yeah, the battle data. We can actually create it somewhere else. Scripts dot battle here. Battle data. And we can say something like battle work, battle mind as battle data. And also doesn't need this. There's all of this that's in common, except this is changed, something different. Through artificial intelligence, we could probably create a mind and put that in the artificial namespace, artificial intelligence namespace, and so what common the mind has map builder and battle builder in common. They have a lot in common. Let's just copy this. And we can give it a t, I guess, where t is equal to something. Do we have an I work where t is equal to I work? We do. And what does I work have? I work has the run function, so I think this will work properly. However, this won't, and I think we actually have to declare this. So we can make this as abstract. And because of that, we can say map mind is equal to mind map work. We can get rid of this. And we can overwrite this. Get rid of that. I think we can get rid of this. Yeah, probably. You know, we need this. There's the map mind and the battle mind. Battle work. Probably get rid of this and then override this. And this. Okay. And if you look at mind. Oh, we can probably get rid of this. Actually, we should probably do this. Public bool or protected abstract. Oh, whoops. And then we can say if add check. I'm gonna add this. If we did add it, then add it to our work. And then this one is if works.remove, then remove this. So I can say check add, I think, or add check. Not telling me. Maybe protected, that's why. Please just add check. Okay, we don't need to do this. This is equal to that, then we just do false. So it's true. For removed, we can do work.mind is equal to null. We can remove that. I think this will actually be here. This seems like a copy paste as well. We can probably redo this somehow. But we'll just leave it for now. Oops. Okay, this is good. Now the battle data. What do we have? I guess we have health, and we'll keep it an integer. And oh, public int health. We'll just have health for now. What's this error? I see. everything should work as intended, except let's turn off this battle system. Oh yeah, because I deleted it. I deleted the old system, so let's get rid of it. And also, we don't need to load it anymore, so forget about this. Okay, so it just, yeah, it seems to work as intended. Working same as before. Let's see if you can walk onto the enemy. Or it can walk onto us. Okay, yeah. We can walk onto it as well. So yeah. Seems to be working. That's good to, yeah, that's good to know. Let's try and actually commence battle. We'll do something like public map system, and we'll do protected void, well, public void start battle, or we can say commence battle. Then we can have game object, I guess, battle object, the battle object, or battle object that's set active true, and we can say public void finish battle, which is something else. I think in we want to turn off the map as well, but I guess we'll just have a game object map object. Actually make a function here, so we can say battle object that's set active value, map object that's set active value. Over here you can say set true, set false, and we want to flip that. Uh yep. We're not actually calling this. Maybe we should call this we have a bunch of references for this as well though. This is the grid, the map system. Thing we're going to need now is I want to actually start the battle. I think the player character input is going to need it, so public battle system. And over here we can say battle system dot commence battle. And also the enemy characters on the map are going to need it. So the mind map, where are we setting the us equal to this? Right here. I guess we can have a battle system here, so that when we walk onto it, right here, where is it? Right here. You can say battle system dot commence battle as well. Now we just have to provide the references. So battle system goes there. Then this. Battle system goes there. Okay. So the UI should appear. There you go. It walked onto me and UI appeared. But for some reason, oh, the grid is actually disabled. Oh yeah, that's right, because we're not using the tile map. because there's some sort of bug there. So okay, that's cool. Okay, so now that we're engaging in battle, we want to know by like with who are we engaging battle with. Also for the map maker, let me just go to the map builder. Map builder. We can probably set this to the parent. Probably set the parent, right? Yeah. That way it'll actually disable it. If I run this again, oh, because we have the tile map set to off. We're just gonna do this. Transform that. Okay, hopefully now it should work. Yep. If we walk into an AI or if an AI walks onto us, yep, it disables the map, but it doesn't disable the enemies for us, and we can still move around afterwards. Of course. So right now it's just the UI thing, and what we want to make it into is we want to prevent the player from moving, and also I guess we can just disable the map system at that point. I think they should be in charge of it. You can say something like public void enable, just enable or disable, or we can just do something like yeah. Should we combine this? No, let's just keep it separate for now. Um, the map system will probably have the player character input. So player character input. I can simply do player character input dot enabled equals true. Otherwise, it equals false. Um, so that way the player can't make a move, which means the enemies can't make a move. Yeah, this is good. Actually, I should probably just make a value here then. Then I can go into battle system. Simply say map system dot enable, and then I can give it the value. Okay. Cool. Okay, so we move, they move, so we collide with an enemy. Oh, it gives us an error. What's that? Object now sets to an instance. Oh yeah, that's why. Because if you take a look at the map system, I think, yeah, we didn't give it the player. This is the player. Now hopefully it should work. So if I move right, we engage in battle. I'm gonna be able to move around. Why did it move? Oh crap, we can still move. Did we set this properly then? I'm pretty sure if we disable this, it's supposed to disable right here. It's supposed to disable the controls. But the controls are not disabled. Hmm. Okay. Maybe we have to remove the event listeners. I can do something like remove listeners here as well. And basically protect it. Oops. override with listeners. Maybe it'll work now. Okay. So let's try. Nope. Let's look at the player. Is it disabled? Oh, it's not even disabled. Oh, that's weird. Oh, because... Okay, well, let's just get rid of this. Go to this definition. We don't need this extra function declared here. We don't need to call this. I think it's because we have to flip this bit right here. Go to battle system. Right here. Oh, and actually, we can actually migrate this to... And make this object be here. I can say map object dot set active value. And we don't need it to be here. This map object is equal to us. And hopefully it should work. Down. Okay, so it walks onto us, which starts the battle. But now if we try to move, we can't. Because the controls are actually disabled now. Whereas before I was just enabling them rather than disabling them. Okay, that's good. But we should also disable the enemies. And the reason for that, for them not being disabled, is because we are not where are we? I think it's Mind Builder, right? Might be my Mind Builder. I'm not just called my Mind. This needs to be renamed to Map Mind Builder, so we know which one which type of AI we're creating. Are we creating a battle mind or are we creating a map mind? Rename. Okay, cool. I think in map mind we were going to commence battle. That's cool. Where are we instantiating? We're here, right? Getting, yes. We want to do mind dot set or transform dot set parent equal to tile map. Do map builder dot tile map dot transform dot parent. Just temporary. We're going to be using tile maps anyway. But actually this one might not be temporary. So if you engage in battle, disables everything except the player, which we want to disable the player as well. Look at the battle system. We can say give us the player as well. And we can say player character that active value, or it's the opposite of that. If we're commencing battle, we want to turn the player off. Also, we're probably gonna have to create more prefabs or different prefabs for the actual battle AIs. So we'll have like battle, I don't know, battle unit or something. let's say sprite. Sprite is equal to whatever it's equal to. Right? I think we're going to be using one type of battle sprite. One type of prefab for every single character, and we're simply going to be changing the sprite on it. Prefabs, probably want to put this in here. Off. We can do something like since this is a battle unit. Honestly, on the character, on the actual character, we probably want we can actually change the color to white. On this character, that might change the character of the on the actual character, we want to say, hey, you have battle data on you. Let's just give it a health of 1 for now. And basically, the battle data or the battle unit, I think this needs its own script. So we'll just say battle unit. So we can create a pooler for it as well. Oh, prefabs. I have a battle system. No, wait. I need a battle unit as a prefab. Then over here, we can say battle unit. Edit this script and say, well, it's going to be pullable. So pullable. And since it's going to be pullable, we want to make a battle unit pooler. So object pooler battle unit. And then we can go to battle system, say battle unit pooler, add the, they should probably reference a public battle unit pooler, the unit pooler, and spawn units. And I guess we want an I enumerable of the units we want to spawn. So, well, I guess it's just going to be like, hey, what character do we want to spawn? Commence battle. Yes. We want to, well, actually, we want to commence battle data. We want to commence battle with something. So who do we want to commence battle with? Then it's going to be if unit pooler dot get. We have to convert this. I pooler battle unit dot get out battle unit. Then do this. Like, who do we want to spawn first? it's like, okay, private void spawn unit, the battle or the battle data with the battle unit. Or not even necessarily this. We can get this here. Right? We can say, hey, if we got this, then that'll, I guess, unit dot game object dot set active to true. But before that, we want to say unit dot data, I guess I can say, equal to battle data. And we can go to our battle unit right here, and we can say we want our data to system dot not serialized. Okay, yeah. And then we could say something like unit dot transform dot set parent uh dot local positions equal to 0. And where do we want to spawn it at? We're gonna do something like spawn unit uh team public transform team 1 team 2 team 1. And if we can do that, then we can do spawn unit. Actually, team 1 is going to be the battle data, player data, player data, and the other one's going to be the battle data. Now, if we can't do this, then we want to say this should be out. Battle unit 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 dot add to pool. Pool succeed here, otherwise we fail on units. If we can do this, then commence battle, otherwise don't. This should never fail, but just in case it does. Because we have a limit to how many items we can get from the pooler. Anyway, so we get it, and then we can say, well, let's just see if this works. Commence battle, who do we want to commence a battle with? Well, it's this one right here. Get component battle data. Over here, we're the player, we're the map mind builder. Who do we want to get it from? Well, it's the player character that get component battle data. We could serialize it, but we're just gonna use get component for now. Okay, now we have this battle system. 1, 2. That goes there. Battle object. The player battle data. Okay. See if this works. walks onto us. Okay. It crashed. That's not good. That means something happened. There's probably error somewhere. Oh, maybe in unit pooler because we didn't actually we did not actually probably fill in what we're pooling right here. Probably where the error is. Because I'm pretty sure this my pooler class has default interface implementation, and if there's an error within that function, that default function, it'll Unity will crash rather than give me an error sometimes. So probably just forgot to provide it that. Also, let me just remove certain packages. I don't think I need visual scripting, but I think visual scripting is in here. I can probably remove the visual scripting. Don't use that, so I don't need it. Probably remove other stuff after as well. But maybe this is what's slowing it down a lot. Maybe it's like checking with everything because I have so many packages here. You see how long this is taking? Taking a while. I don't necessarily know if it should be. Is it my CPU or whatnot? Because I have an SSD, so I would think if it's like recompiling a bunch of scripts, giving them to the SSD, that it should be pretty fast. But maybe it's using maybe the CPU is bottlenecking it or something. Okay. See, where is the? I think it's the battle system. Right here. We have no battle unit. Go out here. We still don't have anything. We need to supply it with something. I think now it should not crash. Yeah, I'm gonna press up and it should take us into the battle. It does. And where's the teams at? So it actually does set this, but I can't see it from the camera. Probably because they're underneath. If I just move that. Oh, it's because I didn't reset the camera position as well. Because the camera is still following. I see. So this battle system actually needs to organize this a bit more. I'm gonna do private struct there, and I'm gonna say public battle data um dot serializable. And it's probably gonna be camera follow. Over here, I can say player data dot battle data, or not even necessarily that. I can just say disable the data of the game. I can just say player data dot enable value battle data. And support a type player. Let me see. Right here. Oh, I think because something else might have been serial. Right. Um, camera has that. The battle data is this. And now if we enable camera camera follow enables equals value. And the if value, then we want to say camera follow that transform. Want to directly set it. That it snaps there. Position.x is equal to 0. Position.y is equal to 0. Do position. Wait, no, if else. Is equal to position.x is equal to camera follow that target in dot x. Y is equal to camera follow that target dot position dot y. Oh wait, it's going to throw an error because we need to serialize the fields. One that we already did. Fine. Never mind. Okay. So it came down at us. And then it disabled even this. This is oh, this should be 0, 0. The camera should be oh my god. Yep, that's why. We were enabling it instead of disabling it. So now we're disabling it. Hopefully it'll work now. Okay. Go down, down, up. It walks into us. It walked into us. Engage in battle. We have a left. We have a right. By the way, is the player character is also disabled? The left and a right. Ooh. Now we actually need to change these sprites to equal to whatever sprite is like over here when we're engaging the unit. Cool. Except we need to say now unit dot wait say unit dot it needs a sprite renderer. Or I guess I can just say public sprite blah blah blah. We can say public sprite renderer sprite equal to sprite. Alright, I guess I can just do this directly instead. Sprite render.sprite is equal to file data. Oh crap, I won't be able to. Unless I do sprite renderer, sprite renderer. Sprite render.sprite. There we go. I guess I can also do I don't want to change the color because we might have effects with that and we don't want to duplicate the effect. Or I guess we might, maybe. No, let's not do that right now. But the battle units clearly needs a sprite renderer. There we go. I'm pretty sure this character also needs a sprite renderer. So nothing's gonna change, so we don't need to test it because these things don't actually have a different sprite. They have a different color. So we now actually have to do things. And I'm thinking maybe instead of actually doing things right now, let's just test. Like, hey, yeah, you spawn. That's cool. But can we get you to finish the battle? as well, because we want that. Oh, and when we finish the battle, hey, can we add these things back to the pool? Right, like these two things right here. Like, can we add them back to the pool? They're gonna have private list, read only. The battle units. The units commenced in battle. This will be a list of all the units commenced in battle. If this is true, then we have to say units commenced in battle that add the unit and um, unit 2. Unit 2. This will be player unit. And the other unit or whatever. And then when we finish the battle, we want to say, hey, for each battle unit in units that are commissioned or commenced in battle, we want to say we want to do something with them, but then afterwards we want to clear the list. What do we want to do with them? We want to add them to the pool. And then clear the list and set defaults. Cool. But we're still not finishing the battle, which we have to. Let's just make a test coroutine, enumerator. That we're just going to start a routine. Going to wait like do system that yield return new wait for seconds for like 1 second, and then it'll finish the battle after 1 second, just to test it, and then we can delete the coroutine. That we actually know that we're going back onto the map, and everything is like fine. We can continue playing. So if you move right, commence the battle, and then now we're not. Thing to note here is these things actually start moving to their next positions when we go back onto the map. Now if you go down, commence in battle, go right. We're just chasing that right now. Go somewhere else. But it looks like he moved on to us, so now he's on top of us. Move away, he has to move away. If we're going from the battle menu to the map I believe that the enemy has to die, right? Like we can actually just delete them, because if you go back from the battle menu to the map menu, that means you won the battle, and then we can remove the other character from the map. That way there will be no overlapping, because they will be dead, and we can destroy their object. So okay, we can get rid of this coroutine right now. I think we have to like now just think of how are we going to so how are we going to how's the battle mechanics going to work? I'm sure we're going to do sure it's going to be more complicated than what I'm going to list out right now, but this is simply what we want to accomplish as a bare minimum. So we want to choose an attack button. We want you to be able to attack, which deals damage to enemy, so a set amount of damage. And then once you attack, enemy attacks. Right? Oh, we'll just keep going back and forth. This is the bare minimum. Of course, it's going to be much different, but if we have this in place, then we can continue to expand upon it. So we take a look at battle system. There's no buttons here right now. And we want buttons, so we can do something like UI button. Just say top left. I actually want to add a we can fill this. Uh then we can kind of add padding to it. We can get rid of this text and add the button. Add the button start from the top left. Okay. I'm just going to make this the attack button for now. You can only right now click on this button, and it's going to attack. Of course, the battle system. We have the battle system in place. I think we're going to need another thing called battle actions. Maybe battle. Is there a synonym for actions we can use? Battle actions, battle options. I think we're just gonna make battle actions. Do we? Yeah, I think we're just going to. Or we can have a battle. A battle list because we're probably gonna have more options than just attack, and probably each option is going to be a battle action, so it's an action you can take, and that battle action is going to be stored within a battle list or battle options. Maybe battle options might be better. So let's just create a folder of battle options. These are all the options available, and the each option is a battle action, so that you can take. Oops. So a battle action. Let compile. So anyway, battle options, battle actions. I think battle actions is just going to be public abstract void execute. Like we want to just execute this action, whatever it may be. And then the battle options is going to store a list of battle actions that it can take. And so if we have a certain button and we click on that button, we want to do something with it. So there's this button right here. I actually think we should I actually did hear that there's a new UI system. Let me see if that UI toolkit. What is UI builder? Let me just search it up. Unity UI builder. Is it for Unity editor stuff or is it for actual in-game UI? The UI builder lets you visually create and edit UI assets. Okay. And style sheets. After you set up, you can open UI builder, blah blah blah. UI builder is a visual authoring tool. It does not include runtime support. That's okay. Hmm. Let's just have uh buttons anywhere. There's a drop down, has a radio button. There's a toggle, it has a button. We can place a button here. So let's delete that. Which will, oh, there's a lot of stuff here. I'll actually probably not use this. I'm just gonna stick with this for now, because I'm probably gonna have to learn a lot more stuff to use that. So we'll just stick with what I know for now. Anyway, we have this. We can have a battle action. Oh no, battle action is an abstract class. So we can create actions here. You say battle action. You say attack battle action. Prefix it with what it does. Um, battle action. So execute something. I just added onto this for now. Oh, it was right there. And this basically takes takes the battle system, I guess, because the battle system actually has the player systems on it, and we want to take the other character. We want to take battle system dot team one, team two, and we want to see who we're targeting at the moment. So we can have something like, hey, who are we targeting? Battle system spot. I actually wonder, should we not have a battle system but something else? I feel like this has a lot of stuff in it already. Maybe instead of calling the battle system, we can call. We're already using battle data, but um, battlefield, I guess, or we can say their battlefield, because this is stuff that we need to be able to know what like the player is targeting. So who are you targeting? For now, we're just not gonna make a check if it's a friendly or not. Like, okay, who are you targeting? And then over here, we're going to say their battlefield. Say battlefield. Whoever you're targeting, take their health and minus it by 1. And we can take this and say their battlefield. Also, set this to system dot non-serialized. So we don't want it to be serialized. Also, how do we where's the battle system? Has to recall every single time. Okay, battle system, player battlefield. We just put it here, player battlefield. We can say if you're enabling it, say battlefield dot enabled equals. Well, actually, we don't want to do that. We can just say player dot battlefield right here, player dot oh, player data dot battlefield dot target goes to unit 2. Oh, the battle data actually, because that's who we're going to be targeting. We should be able to click on it and see the other character's health and be able to minus it. So we should be able to look at this, and as soon as we commence battle with, we click on the second team. Actually, we want to click on the AI that this belongs to, which we're gonna have to go searching to see whom did we collide with. Honestly, it could have been any one of this. So let's just click the attack button, see which ones help drop to 0. None of them. Are we even clicking this? Oh, I think it's because we don't have an event on it. There's no on-click event, so cute. Let's see which AI we're actually collide with. We might collide with this one right here. So you press up. This has the health of 1. If you click this, oh, I feel like it's not even detecting it. We have this infest system. Can't even click on this. Let's see if you're even clicking on it by clicking a debug log. We should be able to go right and check this. Yeah, so we can't even click on it. It's weird. Even though I'm pretty sure the event system is enabled. Oh, it's because we don't have a mouse detection. Over here, we're only creating support devices is keyboard. We want to also make mouse detectable. I think that's why. Now if we go here, go to, if it lets us press down, we can change battle. And now if you click, yeah, you can even kind of see it fade out when I hover over it now. This health should drop to 0, and we should see something printed in the console. Yep. Clicked, and it dropped to 0. And keep clicking it over and over again. It goes to negative numbers. That's good. And probably want to detect if all the enemies have been wiped out. So that if all health is 0 or below it, below 0, we want to end the battle, finish the battle. So instead of actually setting health directly, I think instead we want to add in a damage function. So how much damage do we want to do? Because then with that we can also do heal, right? Like how much do we want to heal? And with this we can have like certain buffs or debuffs based on, hey, we're dealing damage right now, or hey, we're healing. So the health minus damage. This would of course be health plus heal. Then over here, actually anytime the value we want to check, is our health below or equal to 0? That is, we want to basically die. So we'll just say destroy. And we want to check it in heal as well, because maybe our heal is a negative number. And if it's a negative number, then we actually want to deal damage to us, which might be the case. Maybe there's a certain ability that makes all healing effects actually deal damage instead. So you would, yeah, so you would still need to check if the health is lower than 0 or equal to 0 if you heal. And then you want to destroy them. What do we write in the destroy function? We can also maybe make a source. No, but that's just not complicated right now. So I'm going to say maybe we can make a source, like know who, like who's the one dealing damage or who's the one healing us. Then we can do something back, but it's not do that right now. We can add that in later. So health is lower than 0, then of course destroy. But how do we tell? I guess we can do a public battle. Is the battle system? We cannot serialize this. That we are set to it manually. We can say, hey, battle system. Unit dot battle data dot battle system equals this. But also the units commissioned in battle. Public void remove unit from battle. Battle units commissioned in battle, remove this unit. Move us from it. And also unit that add us to the pool so that we can be reused. So basically remove unit from battle. Which battle? This one. Where it's not this one. Actually, oh, that's right. That, no. Units is the battle units. Move the battle unit. And then of course we have to reset the, oh crap, I lost it. The battle system. Battle data dot battle unit equals unit. Okay. So when we're removing a battle from a unit, or yeah, units commissioned. Oh, actually, if we want to have different lists for different teams. So units commissioned in battle. Remove unit from battle. Okay, how about this? If we say if units commissioned in battle that count is equal to 1, then we want to say, okay, finish the battle. That means there's only one person standing, be it the player or the enemy. Okay. Down, left. Walk into us. Okay, walked into us. Attack it, and then it takes us back. No, it doesn't actually remove it from the map. Right? Every time we do it, it does remove us from the map. It doesn't remove the destroyed thing from the map. We want to remove the units. So when we do, if you ever do remove, well, I guess we can do it. Battle data. First, we want to remove it from the battle system, but also the map system. Use the map system that remove unit from map. It's like, oh, I guess just remove character from map here. Like say, since this is this, we can say public character. We can actually serialize this. And then we can we serialize the map? Yeah, I think we can. We can say public void remove character. Character. Okay. Need to serialize this so I don't forget. Uh, we go into here. Serialize this here. And then the map system needs serializing from here. And then this also needs serializing from here. Just make sure no bugs. Yeah, works as before, but now we want to remove it from the map. So it's going to be, I think the builder stores all of the there's all of the units. Or maybe it doesn't store any units, it just spawns them. We actually want to store the units. So we build and then the map has well, where are we actually spawning the units? On mind builder. Right? Map mind builder. Maybe over here we're storing we're storing the mines here. So we could do something like public enumerable map. Oh wait. Public void remove mind. Move I should say map mind. Like from what position? Like well, actually we can just do this. Yeah, get occupation right here. We can directly check without doing get occupation mines dot position. Okay, for here we can say builder dot have something like mind builder, map mind builder. Map mind builder dot get occupation. Say who do you want to remove? Well, person at this position. I want to say destroy, I guess. Well, actually, we destroy map mind at vector 2. We can do this instead. Mind's position dot destroy, I guess. Or we can say something like add to pool, and then we can say minds dot remove the position. We don't need this. From my man add blah blah blah. Okay. Hopefully this works and I'm not missing another serialization. So if I just move down, back. Okay, so it isn't removed from the once battle. It goes into finish battle. We are calling, where are we calling this from? One place, right? Yeah. Move character from map. Would think that it would remove this, but it does not seem to. Maybe because, so let's just go to this. Oh, pullable doesn't disable. But can we do? Oh, this is the object puller. Object pullable. Oh, maybe I can object pullable. You go into here, you can see that pullable, and this is how. Was added to pull. This is already declared. You can just leave it empty. And that. And hopefully, that will work. Added to pool. How should I actually disable it? Although I need to, I don't think this is still going to work, but now it actually disables it. But yeah, like where did we start the battle from? No, nothing walked into us. Where did that come from? So we actually look at the player character input. For some reason, this is still returning true. That means it's not actually being removed from here. I want to see if this is actually being called. Oh, well, it should be, and we should be removing it. Unless we're commencing in battle. Before we can switch. No, we shouldn't be able to. We do it right here. What position, new position, add. Yeah, like who am I fighting here? If I look into attack, I think there's going to be some in the negatives, the ones that are disabled. Their health in the negatives. Here's battle data. Wait, what? Was there a health that battle data had? 0, this is -1. Oh yeah, of course, now it's up. Yeah, we hit it, that's why. So, like in the back end, for some reason, it's still there. So we can say, okay, where are we storing all of the mines and where are we executing their like stuff? We're executing it over here, right? But we're removing it from the mines over here. So that means there's right here, execution order of mines. We might be removing them over here, but we're not removing them over here. So we have to remove this as well. Also, is there, we sort the dictionaries? Get mines. Or let's just keep it this way. Oh, as well. Instead of doing this, we can probably do. What could we now? We couldn't. Well, actually, we could. Int execution of order in minds dot. Oh wait. Actually, index that we're at, we can take the execution. We say find index. Then we can say hey, find us the index of, or we have to do a predicate. Okay. Uh, where we is equal to minds opposition. Find us that index. If you found it, then simply we want to say, okay, execution minds order of blah blah blah. That index that we're at is equal to whatever the last index is. That way we make sure we're preserving the last index, and then we can just remove the last index. That it doesn't have to push everything up. It just swaps the places and then removes them. Yeah, is it index O? I'm guessing the other two is start index and count. Yeah. So index O. There we go. And then we just move the last index. Because it's going to be sorted here anyway. We're going to resort it anyway, so it's whatever. Okay. Talking to me. Okay, there. Like this. Now it's dead. Now we should on. Like this. Gone. Oh. Oh, I'm guessing. Okay, yeah. Now it's gone. Cool. That's 4. I can keep moving and I'm not going to engage in battle with anyone. Because they're all dead now. And it's also really fast, as you can see. Because I'm not waiting for all the AI to make their move. I can instantly make my move now. Cool. Okay, probably remove this. Same goes for this. Okay. So that's cool. What do I want to do? So there's map generation we can do. We can do battle systems or like battle AI. How do we do that? I think we're gonna do the battle AI stuff first. So right now we only have the attack. I'm in place. Oh, actually, we didn't implement the enemy attack. We want the enemy to make a move after we make our move. So if you just close everything, actually go to battle actions. For here, we're also not using damage, which we should be. Um, we are. We have to say, hey, we've made a move. Now it's your turn to make a move. And how do we notify that the other player's turn to make the move? I think we just have to do execute is fine. We would do public void on. Yes. I don't think this should be. I think this should be abstract. Then over here we will do run. But then after we do run, we want to say a battle options. Do something. player made move. And then over here we can say run. And we can put this in protected. That way, if you go into here, you can say we actually don't need a list over here. The public, at least I don't think we need it right now. You can say, okay, now it's the enemy's turn to make the move. And battle options, we're probably going to need a list of all the other enemy AIs. So we're probably going to have a reference to the battle system, and we can say, hey, battle system dot, what are all of the other AI that are like commenced in battle with us right now? We can just simply make it public. I read only list of battle units from in battle. Then we just point to that. Now we can use it here. We can say for each unit, or I should say battle unit, in battle system dot units commenced in battle, unit dot something. Unit dot what? Where's the mind? Like this is cool and all, but where's the mind? Where's the battle mind? Right, like we need a battle mind somewhere. So I guess we'll just do it in data, I guess. So unit dot data dot mind dot execute. We just execute the battle data. So every single other AI makes a move now, one at a time. Oh yeah, we probably we'll add this after. Battle options. Reference to the battle system. Okay, and right now when we actually execute the battle mind, or like one of these things. This is a battle unit, but there's a battle data. I believe. Like this needs a battle mind now. And if you actually look through this, we need this. This can also be pooled, but well, I think we made battle. Whatever, it doesn't matter if it's poolable. Do we want a battle mind here? I think we do. I think in mind control we might need a battle mind. But we don't necessarily need it on the player. Also, we actually go into here and say units commissioned commenced in battle. We're gonna say, okay, if it's even the players commenced in battle, which we don't want to count the player. Or then we can simply say as long as unit.data.mind, if unit.data.mind is not equal to null, because the player's not gonna have a null have a can I just do this directly? The player is not gonna have a mind. I'm thinking there might actually be a way to make the player even have the mind. For now, let's just leave it as that. But right now, if we actually like try to run this battle mind. I don't think anything is going to happen because there's like nothing in the list. Nothing. Yeah, there's nothing in the battle mind. If you try to fight an AI, they'll just die without responding. Even if I give them more health, I'm pretty sure. Because right now, yeah, I'm attacking first and they're instantly dying. But if we isn't it here? Oh, that's right. We don't actually serialize how much health we have. I have to serialize it here. Let's just keep it as one. For this, let's just temporarily make it like 2. Okay. Back. It doesn't do anything to us back, and then I attack again, and then it dies. What I want to do is actually make it have some kind of work. So where's the artificial intelligence? What? Where are you located? Located inside the characters. I don't necessarily know if I want to locate you inside the characters. Outside. And let it recompile. There's this battle work. We probably want the works. Battle works. Problem is, how do we I would imagine that there would be some data that the battle mind has. For example, like who are we targeting? Yeah, like who are we targeting? Battle mind. Okay, let's just do random damage. Battle mind that is a random damage. Artificial intelligence dot battle dot work dot battle dot it dot works. And then we can say battle work, and all we want to say is, hey, yield break, so get out of this, and also uh deal damage to our target, whatever our target is. Like we have a source. What is our source? It's our mind. We can say mind dot, and then we don't know our target. That's the problem. Like, what is our target? Our mind doesn't have that, and we need it. So we need, like, hey, there's the battle data. That's cool, but what about our target? So we can say public battle data target. Like, what's our target? And we can say target dot damage, and then we can just say let's just do one. I know I called it random, but let's just do 1 damage. And also, like, how do we know what our target is equal to? Right? Like, how do we know? So for now, let's just go to our file system and just set it equal to the player. Over here, it's like, how do we know what our target is? And it's like, well, unit dot. Where's our target? It's there. I guess I wouldn't put it here. I would say unit. Their data. There we go. And when we attack it, we should be attacked back. And so we go to the right. Oh. Oh, really? Maybe that should fix it. We also want to know which character is it for beating. We want to go after this character. Oh, still. It's where we set this battle data. Got mind. Have it right there. The target. So that should work. But it's not. Unless you're telling me this player data. But it does have the battle data right there. Wait, let's just redo that. Wait, okay, it did it that time. So if you look at our player, has like 1 health. If I attack, it should attack back, but it didn't. Oh, it's because I didn't add for this mind character. I just didn't add in. Look at these prefabs. I didn't add in anything like battle mind. I didn't. Where's the map? Is the map builder? I didn't add in the AI work thing. I didn't add in the called battle work. So where am I spawning? Spawning enemies somewhere. Map mind builder, I think. Right here. I'm adding the random stuff. Okay, cool. Man dot battle. Mind dot map mind. I guess to get component we can do battle mind. It won't let me. Then we can say add, and then we can say new battle work. What type of battle work though? Random damage battle work. I know that exists. Yeah. Now it should actually damage us. Fence battle. Yeah, so we're at 0 health through an error because of course like we died and we haven't set up like okay, if we died then what happens? We don't know. We haven't set that up. Okay, so we know that it attacks us back. Okay, what about now we can actually like focus on okay. How do we create the AI system? So I'm imagining you have a player and then the player has like certain equipment. And it's like, what type of equipment? It's like, well, um, maybe he has a certain type of weapons. Maybe the user has some type of the player has some type of weapons. And also I should probably rename this to not necessarily player character. I should honestly say battle data. Battle data has equipment, and then that equipment is only ever used inside of battles, right? So what type of equipment is used? Well, the weapons. Um, so equipment, weapons. Do we want a weapon or do we want a plethora of weapons? And also, do we have an inventory system or not? And also, are these just different types of weapons? I'm thinking that maybe we have just like a weapon and we have no inventory system. And also, this weapon that you start off with can actually be like it can be like messed around with rather than getting a completely new weapon. Maybe you just augment the weapon that you already have. Um, that would also mean that there's no drops, maybe. But then how do you augment the weapon? Or you could just have a plethora of weapons as well. But right now, let's just keep it simple. We have an equipment with no inventory, and we have a weapon. And then also we have armor, but also are there different types of armors? They're like gloves or helmets or just plating. So right now we'll think about that later. But I also want to say that there is also for the character, there's also equipment for the character. I would say so. And for the character, like the equipment that's relevant for the character is like boots, perhaps. And if you have better boots, then that means you can make more moves before other AI can make their move. So I'm guessing there's going to be like different types of different. There's probably going to be an int, like an integer, that says how many moves you can make before the other person can. Although before the enemies can. Although I don't think that's really how I should do it. I should probably just have a speed level because there's probably going to be other characters that can move. They can move more than just one tile. They can basically have two turns in one turn. So we're gonna see how we're gonna have to think about that. But for this, we have weapon and we have an armor, and also like what do we have in the armor? Like we just have armor. There's like no nothing special. I don't want to just use stats because just doing something like stats seems boring. Like okay, you have more armor, that means you're better. If you have less armor, that means you're worse. Can't really do much with simply that system. So I'm thinking, how can we make it more like thoughtful armor system? We could have like different types of resistance, so, like to physical damage, to magic damage, to electrical damage, to fire damage, to poison damage. Um, we could have that, or maybe we can that would be like the easy way to make it a bit more dynamic. But that's still kind of like, oh, if you have more fire damage, that means you're good. That's fire damage bad. But you would have to think a bit more like which resistance do you want to build up first? Um, so other than that, what else is there? We're just thinking about armor right now, but we're not thinking about the difference between like having gloves, a helmet, and a chest plate. We're just talking about armor right now in general. Like all of those combined basically. Um how can we possibly make this engaging? And I'm thinking the second solution of having multiple resistances is actually better than the first one, which is just one pick one number with multiple numbers. But right now with weapons you can attack. So I'm assuming like what are their actions? You can attack. Um But with armor, it's kind of like a passive thing where you just wear the armor and then it lowers the amount of damage that you take. And maybe it applies effects as well. I'm actually thinking, could we do something like Fallout, where I actually haven't played the games, but I know oh wait, let me. But I do know that the Fallout like series lets you choose like where you want to, like it goes into some slow motion mode and lets you choose which part of the body you want to attack. So maybe we already have a 1v1 system in place where you're one person fighting one other character. And since we have that, maybe we can make it more engaging by like targeting different parts of the enemy. So their hand, maybe instead of their chest or their head or their legs. But if I do that, I have to be careful because what if the enemy that you're fighting is not humanoid, right? So it's not like a human. Maybe it's like a snake. Um, because the snake doesn't have hands. So now we have to keep in mind that it's not like a static thing. That there's going to be different body parts for different types of characters, which we could do, possible. And then you just pick which part of the body you want to target. But then we also have to remember that if we're doing that, then like it's like if it's a snake obviously can't hold a sword. So and because of that, its equipment, it will not have any equipment. So this will basically be useless, which is fine. I think that's fine. Um, oh, but we also need to think about how would we display that visually. I actually think it's fine. Yeah. So like there's some characters that you need a weapon to attack with, or sometimes you can like attack with your fist, maybe so like punching, or if you're a snake, you can use like bite or whatnot. We also want to make this dynamic. So like if I wanted to equip armor onto a snake, it needs to tell me, hey, I can't equip that. It needs to return like a false boolean. Tell me it cannot be equipped. But we should still be given the option to like allow it to be equipped. Or maybe, you know what? Maybe we can just screw logic and just like say, okay, if you want to equip armor onto a snake, then you can. Or if you wanted to hold a knife, you can make it hold a knife. We could do that. There's like what's unique about that then, right? There's like nothing unique about it. Because if you're like a snake, then you're basically the same thing as a human because even a human can hold a knife. So maybe we'll actually put restrictions. So a snake cannot have a certain amount of things like equipped onto it, but maybe it can have other things equipped onto it. So like maybe maybe its bites are poisonous. Whereas if you use your fist to attack as a human, it's not poisonous. Um, if you have armor, you can probably equip armor as a. Also, cool thing about abstracting it and not being more specific. For example, if you have just armor, we have like normal armor, and we're not saying we have like gloves or like helmets. Is that we can actually, if we just have armor, is that they can actually wear armor as well. Because we're not telling it like what body part armor goes onto. If you just don't make it any more specific, then we can just simply say, yeah, the human can have armor, but also the snake can have armor. Whereas if we're talking about chest plates or the gloves, like of course the snake can't wear gloves, but the human can. Then yeah, but I think we're gonna be a bit more specific because if you want to be able to make the target, if you wanted to be able to target, like for you to be able to target certain parts of the body, I think it would be good to also have like certain armor for certain parts of your body, and maybe we can even for those certain parts of bodies make like different stats. So like physical resistance stuff. So we can have like is like resistances, I guess. Is you can have oh, something like physical, magic, electrical. Magical resistance, electrical resistance, poisonous resistance, poison. I don't know how to spell it, but poisonous resistance. What else is there? Physical, magical, electrical, poisonous, fire, fire resistance. There's probably more resistances, but I also want to eliminate some. Like maybe some of them are just not important to have, right? Like maybe poisonous is actually physical damage, and then maybe fire is like electrical damage because like fire is a crap ton of energy. So maybe if we're talking about energy, we can just uh couple that as fire, right? So maybe this is fire energy. Maybe poisonous is just physical. Yeah, that way we're not overloading it. I think 3 is a good number because I think anything more than that, there's too much to focus on. So I think physical, magical, and electrical resistances is like good to keep track of. Is enough to keep track of. And each different body part. So we have something like armor is equipment. By the way, this is also going to be armor. So this is going to contribute to the stats, but it's not going to be useless. I mean, it's not going to be. I mean, it's going to be useful on the map. And also, so armor, boots, probably helmet, uh, chest plate, uh, probably other stuff. I'll have to search up what the parts of armor are. Um, and because of that, we can have all of this. Well, also, if you target different types, like why would you not always go for the helmet, right? Because going for the head would mean the easiest kill. Like, what are the unique things or like the unique consequences of going for different parts of the bodies? So for example, I think if you maybe go for the boots, that maybe it's if you damage them enough, if the player still like lives, their their uh their boot stats will be lowered temporarily. So that means they won't be able to make as many moves as they once could, perhaps. And so maybe that's why people want to protect their boots, or for something like for like gloves, I guess. If you're wearing gloves and the enemy decides to attack your hands, maybe there might be certain weapons or swords that require a certain stat, a certain amount of resistance in the gloves to be able to hold them. So maybe you have like a fire sword, and maybe a fire sword requires certain amount of resistance to electrical damage that you need to have to be able to hold it without taking damage. You can still hold it, but then you'll take damage. Unless if you meet a certain threshold resistance where then you won't take any more damage from the fire sword. So like something like that. How would we do helmet though? Maybe the helmet is the part that has the most amount of resistances. So it has like the best physical stats, magical and electrical stats. Uh, so like maybe attacking the helmet is like probably not the smartest thing to do. So and you rather go for something like the gloves, so the enemy can't. Maybe if they have a really powerful a sword, they won't be able to hold that, and then you can. And then after you've struck their hands down, then you go for the head. So the head is like kind of like the last resort, where if the enemy is really strong, they have a really strong sword, and you attack their sword. Now they can't hold that sword anymore because it deals damage to them. They can continue using that sword. Um, but then it'll also, if they have a fire, like a really strong fire sword, but it'll also deal damage to them. And then you can just start attacking their head. That way you'll live long enough because they won't kill you with their powerful sword because they can't use it for that long, and because their hands are damaged. And then you can just keep attacking the head for more damage. Um, but what about if you go for the chest plate? The gloves need certain resistance threshold for certain weapons to be used. without taking damage. The weapon. High resistances. Last resort to attack. Maybe the boots. Given enough damage, speed is lowered temporarily. And the chest plate. What about this? If we attack this, what happens? If we attack the chest plate, what could possibly happen? Keep attacking the chest plate over and over and over. What's important to it? Like obviously your heart is important, right? But like if somebody deals damage to your chest, bunch, or if you got like shot in it, or if it got burned, what would you not be able to do anymore? This seems kind of similar to the helmet. Like obviously people want to attack your chest or your helmet. I mean your head, because your head is of course the most vulnerable target, but your chest is big in space and it's easy to hit. So maybe this is the exact same thing as the helmet, but maybe we can have like uh a chance of how much you can miss by. And maybe for helmet it's like a high percentage of missing, and for chest plate it's a low percentage of missing, or at least it's a lower than the helmet percentage of missing. Maybe. Um, I recently last resort to attack. High chance of missing. High res. I should say highest resistances. Low chance of missing, because the head is a small target. Higher chance of missing. It has high resistances as well. However, it does not have the highest. The highest is from chest plate, and it has a low chance of missing. You're either going to be targeting this or this. If you hit the head, you will deal more damage than if you hit with the chest plate, but you have a higher chance of missing. Or maybe I should actually make it low resistances. Maybe I could give the chance of missing for if you attack the head like a really high chance, but if you land it, no, but that'll be way too much RNG. But if you land it, it deals a lot of damage. That's far too much RNG. Um, the chest plate, highest resistances, low chance of missing. Given enough damage, speed is lowered temporarily for this. Okay, what about like your legs or whatever they're called? Legs. There we go. Your boots, your speed is lowered. I would imagine your legs is the same thing, but maybe something different. Maybe I just had a thought. Maybe for the boots, we can say how much you move around. But actually, maybe your leg. No, I was thinking maybe your boots could be how many times you can move before the enemy moves on the map, whereas your legs are used for your leg armor is used for how many attacks you have before the enemy can attack. But I think we're just gonna have turns here. Like you can attack one time, the enemy attacks one time. Let's just keep that simple. What are the legs going to be used for? I'm taking the helmet, gloves, chest plate, and boot. Actually, maybe only 4 targets, right? Because like for the gloves, we don't have arms. Like, what if you attack the arms? Like, no, you can just attack the gloves, or you can go for the boots, or you can go for the chest plate or for the helmet. The helmet and the chest plate is like the two places you're probably going to want to attack the most. And your gloves probably going to be the second. The problem with the boots is like if you're the the problem with the boots is, oh, maybe you know what? Maybe for boots the speed. Yeah, maybe if you attack the boots, both the uh maybe boots give you more chances to attack and also more chances to move around on the map. Maybe it's like both of them. That way it has impact in both scenarios. And that way it would make sense why you would want to go for the boots, because you want to lower the amount of times that the other person has the chance to attack. And if you keep lowering that, then you have better odds of winning as well. You're dealing damage and you're lowering their odds. Also, I'm thinking maybe this has high resistances. That's a high chance of missing. Maybe this has low resistances because this has low resistances as well, and this also has low resistances. Has low resistances. This has low resistances as well. Then, well, actually, this has like high resistances. Actually, both gloves and boots don't have high resistances, but the amount that you deal damage to them is like, if you go for the head, uh, damage, if you hit it, x4, whereas if you hit them in the chest, damage is x2 times it by 2. Right? That's why if you have highest resistances, um, the damage is multiplied by 2, and then the resistances are applied. Or should it be the other way around? I actually don't know if it makes a difference. It might not. We'll have to check when we actually code it. On your character's armor, boots. Only boots are useful here. Um, higher speed means more turns move. Uh, higher speed, more turn attack, or it's another action. The weapon has attack. I guess you could use as well. Use special abilities. Should you be able to attack with every single weapon? Is that a thing we want to add into it? Or should attack also be an ability? Or should everything be an ability? Like attack is an ability, heal is an ability, curse an enemy is an ability, right? Because if you have like a wand, maybe you don't want to be able to hit people with that wand. Or you might say, well, if you have a weapon, you should be able to attack with it, no matter if it's a wand or not. But the wand will just do fewer damage than a sword. But what if our weapon doesn't have a physical form? What if it's like you're using aura or something? Like your aura to use like to heal people. And you automatically attack with that. I don't think you should be able to. Or maybe we have weapons and then we have abilities. So like your aura would be abilities, whereas your weapons all have attacks, and your weapons have like a physical form. But then at that point, a fireball would not be a weapon. But a fireball doesn't necessarily have a physical form until you make the fireball, right? So the ability would be you being able to conjure a fireball and toss it. So maybe, like this would have abilities, and then abilities would be something like heal or whatever, fireball or whatnot, which deals damage to the enemy. Oh crap! And actually, I think this is good. You should be able to use one ability if you can on your turn, and it doesn't end your turn. And I think you should be forced to use your ability before you attack. That way you can't attack an enemy, and then he hits you, eh, or yeah, that way you shouldn't be able to attack an enemy, and then maybe you get dealt damage because the other person has a curse or something, so you get dealt damage because you attack them and then heal right afterwards. You can't do that. You have to attack at the very end. Attacking is like committing because you're doing something physical. So you're going up to the enemy and hitting them, and then maybe those weapons have like certain abilities. Every single weapon will have a physical form. So a wand, a sword, and even like a wand will obviously do less damage if you attack with it than a sword. But a wand will have like certain special abilities. So the special ability might be like, I want to heal. But if you use that, then you cannot use any abilities. Use a special ability that is counted as if it's an attack. Should it be or no or not? Maybe weapons have certain special abilities that are added to your list of abilities. then you can use that, and then at the very end you can attack. Yeah, because like the only way to end battle is for one side to fall. So there's no like pacifist mode in this. One side to fall. If one of them falls, then story continues. So you have to. I think making the attack option mandatory, meaning you have to attack the person, and basically the attack button is the end turn button. As soon as you attack, you end your turn. Anything before that, you can use one ability, and your weapon might have an ability. Then it adds it to the list of abilities you can use that turn. Yeah, I think, and then from here we can like go on to building other things. Yeah, we can after this we can like add in probably more stuff because I think this is pretty complex for now. We'll have to first make this prototype and see how like it works out. Like, is this a good foundation? If it's not, we might have to add in more stuff. Maybe rework the way. I don't know how I feel about this ability, weapon slash ability thing. But we'll see. We'll probably start with making the weapons and the abilities before the armor stuff. Right now, just the weapons and abilities, and see how that works, without any resistances and without any armor or any resistance. Just how abilities and weapons work.